Hello everyone, my name is Yusuf Evers, and welcome to part 89 of the Abigail Freeman story. Let us begin. So, Abigail was walking to the office. She was walking to the office to finish the rest of the book, to write the rest of the book. She opens the door, she walks in the office, grabs her chair, she sits down, she picks up her pencil, and like always, she begins writing. She says in the book, I was very excited to be learning alongside. No, I was really excited to be learning with my best friend how to make movies. I remember being taught by one of the greatest filmmakers ever, really. And I now looking back, I am very fortunate to be taught by this man, and heavily fortunate to know the things I know. He says in the book, and at the time, I didn't know how lucky I was to be there. To be there at that time in Mexico. At that particular time, it was very awesome, and I was heavily every day was exciting, and just a great time to be alive at the time, you know what I mean? So we were just sitting on the couch, watching television, which we had no idea, which we didn't understand a lick of, which was part of the course. We were heavily confused, but Billy showed up to, of course, pick us up from his apartment to go to his film set, because he was directing a movie that one of his friends wrote for him to direct. So after that, we got picked up. He was driving us to the set, and we got to the set. We got out of the car, and he introduced us to his friend who wrote the movie, and Billy told him that we were learning how to be film directors, in Spanish, of course. And he says, oh really? Because he knew how to speak English too for some reason. But we didn't know him that well. But anyway, he gave me more specifically some great advice. And he gave, of course, and he gave the same advice to Margaret as well. So he was directing the movie alongside teaching us how movies are made once again. More specifically, how movies are made. More specifically, Margaret, on how movies are made, of course. She says in the book, I know, there's a little bit confusing. So when you read this, it's not gonna be clear. I'm keeping it in, I'm keeping it in the book, just so you know. I know it was a mistake, but I'm keeping it in. Anyway, so we were learning what we needed to know and what we wanted to know about filmmaking. And we were just having a great time on set. But not too much fun, because that was a short movie. And I did not want to do that. I was laser focused on knowing what I needed to know about making movies, and so was Margaret. Margaret was heavily focused on that also. And so we were both focused. After that, we of course went to eat some lunch. After that, we went back to set to finish the movie because he wanted to finish the movie. So that's what we did. We went back on set. We learned some more we learned more on how to make movies, and we were just having a great time all over again. After that, we went home. I was really, I was buzzing. I had way too much energy. So I just decided that I was going to go back home. Well, we were going to go back home. But I, of course, was going to go back outside so I could just walk around. Which is exactly what I did. I walked around for miles and miles and miles until I got a little bit lost. Which is how until I got a little bit lost. I was walking around just with nothing to do and everything to be afraid of. I did not know the language, once again, even though for a couple months by that point I've been saying that I had bought a line, which was a mistake on my part, obviously. But I was lost and I was, getting to be scared. But beforehand, I was having a good time. So the first half of the walk, I was walking around. I had some money in my pocket, of course. I got some ice cream. I sat down on the ground, ate some ice cream for a while. After that, I got back up and I just kept walking around and walking until, like I said before, I got lost. As I was walking around the city, lost and a little bit afraid, a homeless man, or a man who I thought was a homeless man, ended up being a police officer, wanted to talk to me for a while. So I did just that. We talked, and then 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 we talked some more. And after that, that was it. I talked and talked and talked until he was super tired and he went to sleep. I got back off the ground where the man was and kept walking around the city. I kept walking around the city, and I kept walking some more around the city, she says, until I got even more lost. And that was it. So she puts her pencil away. She puts her pencil away, and she gets up from her chair. She, of course, puts the chair back in the desk. After that, she gets out of the office. She walks out of the office. She goes back to the couch. She turns on the TV, and for the rest of the afternoon, she watches TV by herself at that point. Until a couple minutes later, her wife shows up to say hi and to cook dinner for the both of them. And that was it. To be continued. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment down below telling me whether you like about the video or perhaps hate about the video, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.